Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a productive week in my life reading vlog. So as you know, a couple weeks ago, I had my second baby, so I now have a 2-year-old at home and a newborn at home. And while I'm not getting a whole lot of sleep, it is overall going very, very well so far. So we are starting to now get into a little bit more of a routine together. And so I'm starting to feel a lot more motivated to once again begin prioritizing BookTube. I really would love to make sure that on my maternity leave I'm prioritizing BookTube because I have the extra time. And additionally, my 2-year-old has started a school program, part-time Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we usually drop her off around 9 and pick her up around 3 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from her little school, which has been really good for her to finally get to meet other kids and socialize and have kind of like a structure to her day. So what I wanted to do during this vlog was take you through what a week in my life now looks like with 2 kids and trying to balance reading and BookTube and self-care and all the things together and see how successful we are at it. So I'm going to take you through that. So it is a Monday, and Monday is going to be my planning day. It is now like early in the morning, so before I've actually dropped my daughter off at her school. So we're going to finish getting her ready, get her some breakfast, play with some toys with her, and then we'll take her to school and we'll begin our planning phase and talking about how we're going to make sure to make the most of this week together. And then of course, because this is a reading vlog, I'll be keeping you updated on my current reads, and I have a couple going on right now. The book that I'm physically reading right now is The Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. This is one I was so kindly sent by the author and the publisher to help participate in a blog tour that's going on for this book, because this was originally self-published and has since been picked up by Orbit and is now being traditionally published. And so they're doing a lot of publicity for it, and it actually comes out tomorrow, which it will be already out by the time you're watching this video. And I'm about over halfway through now, and I am loving this book, loving it. I'm so excited, and I'm so relieved that I'm loving it because the author was so nice. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope I love this book. I love it. I'm loving it. So I'm actually thinking about doing like a special review video for it because I'm loving it so much. And I usually don't do individual reviews on my channel, but I feel like I want to start doing it for newer release fantasy books because that's going to be a good way for you all to tell whether or not you think you would like a book and whether it's worth picking up for you. So that will be my physical read that I'm hoping to finish this week. And then my audiobook that I'm listening to right now is Sankofa by Chibundu Onuzo. And this one I'm actually like 2/3 of the way through, so I'm very close to being done with it. It's not a super long audiobook, and I'm definitely able to listen at 2 times speed because the narrator's voice is very slow at normal speed, and it's very easy to follow what's going on at 2 times. Sometimes I can't listen at 2 times depending on the narrator, but for this one I can. So I actually should be able to finish this today or tomorrow, and I'm really enjoying this one as well. So I'll keep you updated on both of those books, and we'll see what my next books are that I'm going to pick up after I finish those. I'm very much like mood reading right now and allowing myself to kind of just pick up whatever sounds good for my mood. So I'll keep you updated. But that is my reading update. That is what this vlog will be going through this week. So let's begin our week and let's have a very productive week together, full of reading and full of BookTube. So I've dropped off my 2-year-old at school, and then I am currently feeding baby girl. Hello. So this morning I did some planning of my day today, and I figured that I work best with a little bit of structure in my day, At my job, I would constantly be in back-to-back meetings all day, and having some sort of structure like that helps me rather than just kind of nebulously saying like, okay, today I want to like do booktube stuff. I need to like have specific times where I'm prioritizing certain things. So that's what I'm going to try this week to see if that helps me be really productive so that I don't waste time during this kind of free time that I have. So I figured for today, on Mondays, from 9 to 10, I want to prioritize self-care and like planning and that sort of thing. So that can include like showering and putting on makeup and like painting my nails if I want, or doing yoga or breakfast. Definitely breakfast. I definitely need to eat. So all of those sorts of things. And then any kind of like tidying that I have to do, like maybe starting a load of laundry or that sort of thing. So from 9 to 10, I just really want to like prioritize getting myself feeling good for the day and for the week. Then at 10, that's when I want to start filming. And I figured that Monday can be a very heavy filming day. So Monday, if that's my heavy filming day, then I also want to allow time for any editing that I may need to do. So from like 10 till 12 is just filming, editing. And then from 12 to 12:30, lunch. If I don't schedule lunch for myself in my day, then I am so bad about like taking a break. When I get focused in on something, I like really focus in on it, and it's great because it's very productive, but it's also not great because then I have a hard time like taking breaks for myself, and that includes eating lunch. So I need to like schedule the time to make sure I'm eating, taking care of myself. So then from 12:30 until 2 o'clock, that is more filming and editing time. And then from 2 to 3, so I leave usually around 3 o'clock to pick up my daughter. And from 2 to 3, I would like to just use that time to read. So I don't get a ton of physical reading time in throughout my day. So if I can have a really productive filming and editing day, then I can kind of rest easy. My mind can then start to focus on other things, and that will be a good time for me to focus on physically reading. So that is the plan for my day. So then the rest of the night is usually dedicated to my baby and to anything else. And usually it's cleaning. I like to wake up to a clean house. So I like to do all of my cleaning at night when everything's kind of done for the day. I'll take you through today to see how that goes. So that's my typical Monday. So we'll sit down and we'll plan what the rest of the week would look like. But I figured I would start with Monday and get going on that. So it is now almost 9:30. That means we are in my self-care block. So I just finished feeding my newborn and she is ready to go down for a nap. She is so sleepy. And so I'm gonna go take a shower, do my makeup, do my hair, feel good for the rest of the day. right, so I did manage to have a nice long shower, got myself ready for the day. I do have to take my little baby to a doctor's appointment, but I was able to get some editing done while snuggling with her, so that was really nice. That is a little bit of an interruption to like the plan for the day, but that's okay because once I get home, I'll keep doing my editing. I am behind right now on booktube stuff in general, so I'm editing a video that's supposed to go up today, so that's like my biggest priority, is getting that done, uploaded, finished. And then I want to start filming the rest of the videos for this week and for maybe going into next week as well. I also have a sponsorship that I need to get filmed and ready for hopefully this week. So that is all my plan for as soon as I get home from the doctor's appointment, get her all happy and settled. So it is the end of the day and I am about to get ready for bed. But I wanted to give you an update because after I took my daughter to the doctor appointment, I got home and got lunch, and my mom decided to come and hang out, which was so lovely, getting to hang out with her. And that did mean that I didn't get quite as much done as I was hoping to today for BookTube, but I did manage to film the videos I have planned for the rest of the week. So I'm at least covered for this week, and I did tonight end up editing one of the videos for one of my sponsorships that I have going up this week. So I was still productive enough where at least I'm in a good spot for the rest of the week. But that does mean on Wednesday, I'm going to use that day as another filming day for the following week to hopefully get the rest of my filming done for a while and get ahead of that. And then I did want to take tonight to plan out the rest of my week's schedule and kind of take a look and see how I want to structure each day of the week. Because I did that for today and I liked it a lot, but I haven't done that for any other days of the week yet. So that's my goal for tonight. And I'm also about to finish my audiobook for Sankofa and have about like maybe 30 to 40 minutes left in the audiobook. So I do want to clean the kitchen, get all that done, and maybe finish my audiobook. So I'll take you with me as I try to wrap up a couple more things before I get ready for bed. And my daughter, my newborn, I have a feeling that tonight's going to be rough because she was asleep most of today. I can hear her kind of starting to stir a little bit. She's been asleep for a bit, but I have a feeling because she was asleep all day, she's going to be up all night. So last night was such a good night. We had a 3-hour stretch of sleep, but I have a feeling tonight we're not going to be so lucky. We'll see. But that means maybe I'll try to get some more audiobook listening in tonight when I'm up in the middle of the night quite a bit. We'll see how it goes. I might be really tired tomorrow. So I'll take you along with me as I try to wrap up the day, try to be productive with the rest of my night. Tuesday, and last night I did not get any physical reading done. By the time I had finished cleaning and doing chores and taking care of the newborn, it was definitely bedtime. I was so tired. So that being said, today I am definitely wanting to prioritize some physical reading time. So I did manage to finish planning out the week schedule. So what I have in mind for my weeks is, like I already mentioned, Monday is my heavy filming day, and maybe some editing as well. But really, Monday is going to be dedicated to filming as much as I possibly can. Tuesday, during nap time, that will be probably the only free time I have during Tuesdays, is when my 2-year-old is down for her nap, and she usually naps between 2 to 3 hours, which is really nice. So during her nap time on Tuesdays, really my priority is going to be physically reading my books, and then also doing any sort of Patreon planning, Patreon updates, because that is something that I really want to make sure to keep on top of as well. Wednesdays is going to be another editing and filming day. So anything I can't get done on Monday, I'm going to look to Wednesday to finish that stuff out. So filming, editing is going to take up a good portion of the day, and then reading time. Thursday, during my 2-year-old's nap time, will be reading, physically reading, and then editing. So anything that I didn't get edited from Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to use Thursday to kind of catch up on. So that by Friday, really the only goal for Friday is reading and doing some like video planning for the following week. So that is my overall plan. So I'm going to show you kind of what the schedule looks like. Here is what the schedule looks like in block form. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get the nap time, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get the 9 to 3 time. And so Monday, filming, editing takes up the majority of my day. Wednesday, filming, editing, and then reading takes up the majority of the day. And then Friday, reading and video planning take up the majority of the day. Tuesday and Thursday, reading, Patreon planning, and editing, respectively. So the reason I'm putting the reading with some other stuff here is because very often I will fall asleep reading. So if I'm finding myself dozing off, then I can do the other thing that's set in this block to help me stay productive. I can also allow myself to nap if I really need to. If anything doesn't work, I can always adjust. So I'm very curious to do this type of vlog again once I've had a chance to really test out this schedule and see if this gives me enough time to do everything that I need to do. And if it doesn't, then I'll kind of highlight where maybe I need to adjust things or make more time for things. So this is tentative right now, and we'll see how it goes. On another note, I do have a reading update because last night I did manage to finish Sankofa, and I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I don't think I ever explained what it's about. It's about a woman who, she is born to this African man and this white woman. And very early on in her life, her father kind of leaves and is never a part of her life, and she doesn't really know much about him. So now this woman has grown up, she has a family of her own, she's kind of in the midst of a divorce, she has a daughter who's grown, and you know, she's just kind of feeling lonely in a rut, and she discovers a diary that her father had written about the time that her father had met her mother, had fallen in love and that sort of thing, and she becomes very much set on meeting her father and finding out more about this man that she never really knew anything about, and finds out that he is the president of this African country. So she kind of travels to see him, and the story is just about that kind of self-reflection and that journey of her meeting her father for the first time. I really liked it. I thought it was beautifully told. I really liked our main character. I don't think it's like a favorite of all time for me, but I really liked the story that was told. I really liked some of the messaging and the themes that were explored. So I thought that this was a really, really good one. And the audiobook was fantastic for it. I really liked our narrator. So I had a really good time with this one. I would highly recommend it. But it's not like a 5-star feeling, if that makes sense. So that was Sankofa. The next book I have that came available from the library is The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind by Jackson Ford, which is one of my must-read books of the year. And this one is more of a sci-fi. It's more of like a contemporary sci-fi that takes place in our world about a woman who has psychokinesis, I think it's called. Yeah, because she can move stuff with her mind. And she is a part of this kind of government secret task force with these other characters to pull off these missions. And she kind of has to stay hidden. She has to keep her powers hidden. I'm not very far into it yet. I'm about 15% of the way through the audiobook as of this morning. But this is one I'll probably finish this week as well. So I'll keep you updated on my reading progress for this one. It's been on my TBR forever, so I'm glad I'm finally getting to it. So that is my latest reading update. Today, like I mentioned, my 2-year-old is home, so we're gonna play, we're gonna hang out, and then when she does go down for a nap, I'll come back with another update to let you know how I'm doing. Okay, my 2-year-old is asleep. She's probably been asleep for about 30 minutes now. I have had lunch. I have cleaned a bit, tidied up the house. I got 25% of the way through my audiobook for The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind, and I'm very, very intrigued by it. I'm really liking it so far, so definitely want to keep going with that. Now I get to sit back and relax with the combat codes, which I'm so excited about because I'm loving this book so much. So I'm hoping to get a nice chunk of reading in. I did make a fresh pot of coffee in case I do start to doze off a little bit. I have some coffee ready to go. My newborn is napping next to me. She's starting to stir a little bit. So I may have to take a break from reading to feed her. But right now she's still, for the most part, asleep. So I'm going to start my physical reading. I'm so excited. Yay! I have a friend who joined me while I was reading. So we've just been hanging out, and I did manage to read 100 pages of the combat codes. I'm so close to finishing. I think I'm going to finish it tomorrow. I have about 70 pages left. It's so good. It's so good. I can't wait to review this one and tell you all about it because it's so good. My 2-year-old woke up, so I'm gonna go get her up and we're gonna have a good rest of our day. And I will keep you all updated if I have anything else that I'm able to do later tonight when my 2-year-old goes down for bed. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is a little after 10 o'clock in the morning. So I dropped my daughter off at school and I finished doing my morning routine, my self-care routine, showering, makeup, hair, breakfast, all that sort of stuff. And now it's time for filming and editing for the next 2 hours until lunchtime. So I have a list of all of the videos that I want to get filmed coming up, and I'm going to show you kind of how I plan out my videos. I do it in the most like informal, casual way, so let me show you. So I just have a Google Calendar here where I track kind of all of the different videos that I have, and it's very, very easy to move them if I decide to swap something out. So I like doing it this way. I've seen other folks do like post-it notes on a paper calendar. So this is kind of my equivalent of post-it notes on a paper calendar. It's just events on a Google Calendar instead. So for example, I really, really want to finish the combat codes and get a review filmed and edited today so that I can get that uploaded tomorrow. That's kind of a bonus video. And then I have my July TBR. The F means filmed. So as I go through and film these things, I'm going to mark down F. If I get them edited or uploaded, I'll add an E or a U. And as you can see, I have the rest of the month scheduled here. These two filmed today, get this one edited today, get this one, hopefully if I can finish the combat codes today, I don't have much left, and get that filmed and edited, and I can get that up tomorrow. We'll see. So that is my goal. Real quick, just a reading update, since I wasn't able to update you yesterday on my reading after I put my daughter down for bedtime. I was able to get through another good portion of my audiobook. So I'm about halfway through my audiobook for The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind. And I'm starting to lose just a little bit of interest. I was very intrigued at the beginning, but the main character has a very, very strong personality, and it's starting to grate on me just a little bit. Not enough where I would DNF it, but enough where I'm like, I don't know if I would continue on with this series, but I'm still intrigued enough to finish at least this one book and see where it goes. There is another perspective that is also keeping me quite intrigued. So I'm liking it fine, but I'm starting to kind of lose a little bit of interest in it. And then my other one, the combat codes, I have about 50 pages left. That is my big goal after lunch today. During my reading block, I really want to finish the combat codes and hopefully get that review filmed, edited, uploaded, all that. It is now almost 12:30, so I'm a little behind on schedule for lunch, but that's okay because I was able to finish the filming that I really wanted to get done today. So let me show you where we are at with the schedule. Here's the aftermath of filming. This isn't that bad, but I do have to put all of these away now. So now you can see I did manage to actually edit and upload my July TBR, so that's why you see now those letters associated with that. And then reading vlog, obviously that is what I'm filming actively with you right now. And then the best books of the year I did film, mid-year book freakout tag filmed. So I got through the rest of the videos for next week. This is the only review video I'm hoping to get done maybe later today. So this one I've actually almost finished editing, but I need to do a couple more things with it. So it's actually been a very, very productive 2-hour work period. So now I can eat lunch and feel good about what I've accomplished. This is probably my last update for today because I'm about to have my nighttime routine. I'm gonna go to bed so early tonight. I am so tired. But I did have an unbelievably productive day. I took you through the filming updates that I had, and then I managed to, after lunch, finish the combat codes. I loved it, 5 stars. So I am putting a review video up for that tomorrow, which I did manage to get filmed before I had to go pick my daughter up from her school. So that was super productive. I'm so excited about that. I'm 60% of the way through The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind, and I'm starting to really lose interest, and I'm at that point where I'm like, I've invested so much time at this point. Once I get past the 50% mark, I have a really hard time DNFing because I'm like, I don't want all of that time to be wasted. So I'm like, should I just finish it? But I just have a feeling it's going to be 3 stars. And like, do I really want to spend another 2.5 hours listening to a 3-star book when I could start something new? So I might listen till it's just like a little bit more and see how I'm feeling. I have a much easier time DNFing if it's before the 50% mark. So that's The Girl Who Can Move Shit With Her Mind. I'm so mad because I was really expecting to enjoy it. It sounded like so much fun. But it started promising, but it started to kind of lose my interest a little bit once I started getting irritated by the main character. And then the plot itself is just kind of going nowhere. It's like going in circles a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and start, like I mentioned, getting ready for bed, doing the nighttime routine, and listening to that audiobook. So I'll probably update you tomorrow morning with the latest and greatest on where I stand with this audiobook and then what I'm starting next. In terms of my physical reading, I'll show you really quick actually, because I am picking up a new book to physically read tonight that I'm going to read before bed. It is The Endless Vessel by Charles Sewell, which is an author I've read from twice before and have really, really enjoyed, like a lot. So I would really love to finish out his newest release. And then I also decided that on Friday, that is my heavy reading day, where the majority of my day while my daughter's in school is going to be dedicated solely to physical reading. I have a feeling that if I force myself to only read one book during that time, I might get like antsy. So I'm going to have another book that I can physically read for that day. And that way I can kind of switch between the two to keep myself engaged, keep myself from, doing other stuff that isn't productive. So the other book that I'm going to physically read next is The Helm of Midnight by Marina Losetter. And this is what I'm so excited for. It's fantasy horror. It was my patron's pick for last month that I just didn't have a chance to get to. So this is one I've really, really been anticipating reading for a long time, and I've heard amazing things. So these are the 2 books that I'm going to be physically reading for the rest of this week into the weekend. So that is my update for you before bed, and I will talk to you all in the morning. Happy Friday. I did not end up updating you all yesterday on Thursday. Wednesday night, when I finished giving you that update, Wednesday night was a really rough night with the newborn. It was bad. It was like every 45 minutes I was awake. Hardly slept at all. I was so tired yesterday. Oh my goodness. So I actually didn't end up doing a ton, which was fine because I really needed to just relax after having a really tough night. Last night was much better. So I'm feeling a little bit better today. And we already dropped my daughter off at school this morning. And I finished just now feeding the newborn and cuddling with her for a bit, and then also editing this reading vlog up to this point. So I've actually had a pretty productive morning. I'm gonna just continue to get ready for the day with you all right now as I give the rest of my update. And my next audiobook that I have that just came in from my library is Violetta by Isabel Allende, which is one of my 5-star predictions. And I'm so excited about that book. I think it's historical fiction, it's translated, it sounded beautiful. So I'm curious what I will think of that one. Historical fiction is not something I typically reach for a lot, but there's always exceptions, and I've found myself really enjoying a lot of the historical fiction that I've read in the past. So I'm excited to begin that one. I'll probably begin that today. And for the rest of the day, my goal is truly just to have the most productive reading day I can. I have a feeling I can get through a really good portion of The Endless Vessel and start The Home of Midnight today. That's my goal, at least. I'm really excited about both of them, and it'll be nice to just relax today. And I think that after today, I'll be in a good spot for next week. I'm also gonna do just a little bit of video planning for next week and the following week, just to make sure on Monday, when I do have my filming day, I have a very productive day. We'll also do at the very end of this vlog, just a recap on that schedule that I created for myself earlier this week to see how well it truly went, how much of that I was able to stick to. Did it give me enough time to do what I needed to do? I'm curious what you all love in vlogs. Vlogs are something that they're kind of outside of my comfort zone. I don't know really what I'm doing when I do vlogs. So I never know what a good balance is between giving you reading updates versus lifestyle. I've watched other creators do amazing vlogs, and it's not something I typically watch unless I'm, doing research on how to do my own vlogs. So I don't really know what you all like out of vlogs. So you'll have to tell me, what do you like watching vlogs for? I'm very curious because I would love to keep doing them. They're fun to do. It makes me feel like I'm just having a chat with you all and kind of able to connect with you a little bit more on a more personal level. So I kind of like having vlogs every now and then on my channel. Yeah, let me know what you all think of vlogs in general. What do you like in them? What do you not like in them? Okay, and I feel ready to go. I feel like I don't have to do hair and a ton of makeup. I mean, I don't do a ton of makeup anyway. I always do the bare minimum makeup because I'm not going anywhere. I just hang out with my kiddos all day. So who cares? I will talk to you all later. We just had lunch and it is about 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. And I finished the audiobook for The Girl Who Can Move Stuff with Her Mind, and the ending, the last quarter of the book finally picked up and got intriguing again. And then the very ending, something happens where two characters have this interaction, and I was so bummed that that's how we chose to end the book. It felt so out of place and it felt so forced, and I really, really didn't like it. Really, really didn't like it. So I'm really bummed because I probably should have DNF'd this one, but I kept going with it. And I will say it was entertaining. It was very entertaining in the first quarter of the book and then the last quarter of the book. The middle kind of lost me a bit. But then the very, very ending was so lame. So I ended up giving it 2.5 stars. It's one that I'm not going to be continuing on with the series. And then I've gotten through a good chunk of The Endless Vessel. I've read almost 100 pages of that one today. And it's a slow start, but things are finally starting to pick up now. I'm almost at 150 pages in, and I'm okay, finally I can kind of see what we're doing here. So it had a really slow start where I was not into it much at all, but now I'm kind of finding my groove with it. So I'm gonna keep going. I haven't started The Home of Midnight yet. I don't know if I'll end up starting it. I still want to keep going with The Endless Vessel and try to get to 200 pages into that book and make good progress in that one. So depending on how I feel, maybe I'll switch to The Home of Midnight at a certain point today before I pick up my daughter. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll keep you all posted on how the rest of the day goes. Right, this will probably be my last update for this vlog, and I just wanted to quickly do that kind of retrospective of how the schedule that I created at the beginning of the week ended up working out for the rest of the week. So let's take a look. So I think the biggest thing is the self-care portion of each morning on Monday, Wednesday, Friday ends up taking a little bit longer, where I don't actually get going until closer to 10:30. So I'm just gonna update that to be 10:30 and move everything back by 30 minutes. just to make it so I don't feel like I'm starting my day behind. So I'm just gonna push everything back, and that way I feel good about where I'm starting in the morning. And then for the rest of the week, I actually think it ended up working out really well with the filming and editing days being on Monday and Wednesday. I do think that will give me enough time to get through everything I want. But I will say the reading portion of my days, I end up not reading as much as I would expect myself to. So I might have to kind of take a look at some of these blocks and figure out like if there's reasons why I'm not being as productive during these reading blocks. So anyways, I think for right now, I'm going to keep this all the same besides bumping everything back by 30 minutes and see how the rest of this next week goes that's coming up. But overall, I'm really happy with how productive I was last week. So I think I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and just continue to kind of revisit my blocks and my schedule as needed. So yeah, hopefully this was an interesting vlog. Hopefully it gave you some insight into what my weeks are looking like while I'm out on maternity leave, while I'm trying to prioritize my reading and my booktube and my kid time. So let me know if there's anything you like seeing out of reading vlogs that you'd like to see in the future. Leave those comments down below, and thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to, and if you want more information about exclusive content or joining a fantasy book club with me or Discord, anything like that, you can check out the information for my Patreon that is linked down below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.